Part II of Alcestis by Euripides, translated by Arthur Sanders Way, 1847-1930. This Librivox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Expatriate in Bangor, Maine. Part II. Admetus. It shall be, dread not thou, for thee living I had, and dead mine only wife shalt thou be called, nor ever in thy stead shall bride Thessalian hail me as her lord. None is there of a father so high born, none so for beauty peerless among women. Children enough have I pray the gods for joy in these, our joy in thee is naught. Not for a year's space will I mourn for thee, but long as this my life shall last, dear wife, loathing my mother, hating mine own sire, for in word only, not in deed, they loved me. Thou gav'st in ransom for my life thine all of precious, and didst save. Do I not well to groan, who lose such yoke-fellow in thee? Revels shall cease, and gatherings at the wine, garlands and song, which wont to fill mine house. For nevermore mine hand shall touch the lyre, nor will I lift up heart to sing to flute of Libya. Thou hast robbed my life of mirth, and wrought by craftsmen's cunning hands thy form imaged, upon a couch outstretched shall lie, falling whereon and clasping with mine hands, calling thy name, in fancy shall mine arms hold my beloved, though I hold her not. A chill delight, I wot, yet shall I lift the burden from my soul. In dreams shalt thou haunt me and gladden, sweet to see the loved, though but a fleeting presence night revealed. But were the tongue and strain of Orpheus mine, to witch Demeter's daughter and her lord, and out of Hades by my song to win thee, I had fared down, nor Pluto's hound had stayed me, nor spirit wafter Charon at the oar. Or ever I restored thy life to light. Yet there look thou for me, whenso I die. Prepare a home, as who shall dwell with me. For in the selfsame cedar chest wherein thou liest will I bid them lay my bones, outstretched beside thee. Ne'er may I be severed, no, not in death, from thee, my one true friend. Chorus. Yea, I withal will mourn, as friend, with thee for this thy wife, for she is worthy. Alcestis. My child, ye yourselves have heard all this, have heard your father pledge him ne'er to wed for your oppression and for my dishonour. Admetus. Yea, now I say it, and I will perform. Alcestis. On these terms take the children from mine hand. Admetus. I take them, precious gift from precious hand. Alcestis. Be to these babes a mother in my stead. Admetus. Sore is their need, who are bereft of thee. Alcestis. Darlings, I should have lived, and lo, I die. Admetus. Ah me, what shall I do, forlorn of thee? Alcestis. Time shall bring healing, but the dead is naught. Admetus. Take me, take me with thee to the grave. Alcestis. Suffice it that one dies, she dies for thee. Admetus. O death, of what a wife dost thou bereave me? Alcestis. Dark, dark, mine eyes are drooping, heavy laden. Admetus. O, I am lost, if thou wilt leave me, wife. Alcestis. No more, I am no more, as naught account me. Admetus. Uplift thy face, forsake not thine own children. Alcestis. Sore loath do I, yet O farewell, my babes. Admetus. Look unto them, O look. Alcestis. I am no more. Admetus. Ah, leav'st thou us? Alcestis. Farewell. [Dies. Admetus. O wretch undone! Chorus. Gone, gone, no more is this Admetus' wife. Eumelus. Woe for my lot! To the tomb hath my mother descended, descended. Never again, O my father, she seeth the light of the sun. In anguish she leaves us forsaken. The story is ended of her sheltering love, and the tale of the motherless life is begun. Look, look on her eyelids, her hands drooping nerveless. Oh, hear me, oh, hear me. It is I beseech thee, my mother, thine own little bird. It is I, oh, I cast me upon thee, thy lips are so near me, so near me, unto mine am I pressing them, mother. I plead for a word, but a word. Admetus. With her who heareth not, nor seeth, ye and I are stricken with a heavy doom. Eumelus. And I am but a little one, father, so young and forsaken, forsaken. Forlorn of my mother, oh, hapless, a weariful lot shall be mine. And thou, little maiden, my sister, the burden hast taken, which thy brother may bear not alone, and a weariful lot shall be thine. O father, of long living love was thy marriage uncherished, uncherished. Thou hast won not the goal of old age, with the love of thy youth at thy side. For, or ever she won to the fullness of days, she hath perished, and the home is a wreck and a ruin, for thou, O my mother, hast died. Chorus. Admetus, this mischance thou needs must bear, nor first of mortals thou, nor shalt be last to lose a noble wife, and be thou sure, from us, from all, this debt is due, to die. Admetus. I know it. No wise unforeseen this ill hath swooped upon me. Long I grieved to know it. But for to burial must I bear my dead. Stay ye, and tarrying echo back my wail To that dark god whom no drink offerings move. And all Thessalians over whom I rule I bid take part in mourning for this woman, With shaven head and sable shrouding robe. And ye which yoke the cars four horsed, or steeds of single frontlet, shear with steel their manes. Music of flutes the city through, or lyres, be none, while 12 moons round their circles out. For dearer dead, nor kinder unto me, I shall not bury. Worthy of mine honour is she, for she alone hath died for me. [Exit. Chorus, Strophe I. O Peleus' daughter, I hail thee, I waft thee eternal farewell To thine home, where the darkness must veil thee, Where in Hades unsunned thou shalt dwell. No dark haired, thy grey spirit wafter, Hath sped not with twy plashing oar Woman nobler, nor shall speed hereafter To Acheron's shore. Antistrophe I. For the 7-stringed shell, or for paean unharped, Shall thy fame be a song, when o'er Sparta the moon Carnean High rideth the whole night long. And in Athens the wealthy and splendid Shall thy name on her bards' lips ring. Such a theme hast thou left to be blended With the lays that they sing. Strophe II. Oh, that the power were but in me From the chambers of Hades to light, And from streams of Cocytus to win thee With the oar of the river of night. O dear among women, strong hearted From Hades to ransom thy lord. Never spirit in such wise departed. Light lie on thee, lady, the sword. And, if ever thine husband shall mate him Again with a bride in thy stead, I will loathe him, his children shall hate him, The babes of the dead. Antistrophe II. When his mother would not be contented To hide her from him in the tomb, Nor his grey haired father consented, Unholpen he looked on his doom. Whom they bare, the hard hearted, they cared not, Though hoary their locks were, to save. Thou art gone, for thy great love spared not Thy blossom of youth from the grave. Ah, may it be mine, such communion of hearts 'Tis vouchsafed unto few. Then ours should be sorrowless union our life days through. Enter Herakles. Herakles. Strangers, who dwell in this Pheraian land, Say, do I find Admetus in his home? Chorus. Herakles in his home is Pheres' son. Yet say what brings thee to Thessalian land, That thou shouldst come to this Pheraian town? Herakles. A toil for King Eurystheus, lord of Tiryns. Chorus. And whither journeyest? To what wanderings yoked? Herakles. For Thracian Diomedes' 4-horsed chariot. Chorus. How canst thou? Sure he is unknown to thee. Herakles. Unknown, to land Bistonian fared I never. Chorus. Not save by battle may those steeds be won. Herakles. Yet flinch I may not from the appointed toils. Chorus. Thy life or his, a triumph or a grave. Herakles. Not this the first time I have run such course. Chorus. What profit is it if thou slay their lord? Herakles. Those steeds shall I drive back to Tiryns' king. Chorus. Hard task, to set the bit betwixt their jaws. Herakles. That shall I, if their nostrils breathe not fire. Chorus. Yea, but with ravening jaws do they rend men. Herakles. Go to, thus banquet mountain beasts, not horses. Chorus. Nay, thou shalt see their cribs with gore bespattered. Herakles. Whom boasteth he for father, he that reared them? Chorus. Ares, the king of Thracia's golden shield. Herakles. Thou sayest? Such toil my fate imposeth still, Harsh evermore, uphillward straining aye, If I must still in battle close with sons Gotten of Ares, with Lycaon first, And Cycnus then, and lo I come to grapple, The third strife this, with yon steeds and their lord. But never man shall see Alcmene's child Quailing before the hand of any foe. Chorus. Lo, there himself, the ruler of the land, Admetus, cometh forth his palace hall. Enter Admetus. Admetus. Hail, O thou sprung from Zeus and Perseus' blood. Herakles. Admetus, hail thou too, Thessalia's king. Admetus. Hail? Would I were! Yet thy good heart I know. Herakles. Wherefore for mourning shaven show'st thou thus? Admetus. This day must I commit to earth a corpse. Herakles. Now heaven forfend, thou mourn'st for children dead. Admetus. In mine home live the babes whom I begat. Herakles. Sooth, death ripe were thy sire, if he be gone. Admetus. He liveth, and my mother, Herakles. Herakles. Surely, O surely, not thy wife, Admetus? Admetus. Twofold must be mine answer touching her. Herakles. Or hath she died, sayst thou, or liveth yet? Admetus. She is, and she is not. Here lies my sorrow. Herakles. Nothing the more I know. Dark sayings thine. Admetus. Know'st not the doom whereon she needs must light? Herakles. I know she pledged herself to die for thee. Admetus. How lives she then, if she to this consented? Herakles. Mourn not thy wife ere dead. Abide the hour. Admetus. Dead is the doomed, and no more is the dead. Herakles. Diverse are these, to be and not to be. Admetus. This, Herakles, thy sentence, that is mine. Herakles. But now, why weep'st thou? What dear friend is dead? Admetus. A woman. Hers the memory we mourn. Herakles. Some stranger born, or nigh of kin to thee? Admetus. A stranger born, yet near and dear to us. Herakles. How died a stranger then in house of thine? Admetus. An orphan here she dwelt, her father dead. Herakles. Would we had found thee mourning not, Admetus. Admetus. Ay so? What purpose lurketh 'neath thy word? Herakles. On will I to another host's hearth welcome. Admetus. It cannot be. May no such evil come. Herakles. A burden unto mourners comes the guest. Admetus. Dead are the dead. But enter thou mine house. Herakles. 'Twere shame to banquet in the house of weeping. Admetus. Aloof the guest bowers are where we will lodge thee. Herakles. Let me pass on, and have my thanks unmeasured. Admetus. Unto another's hearth thou canst not go. To an Attendant. Ho thou, lead on. Open the guest bowers looking away from these our chambers. Tell my stewards to set on meat in plenty. Shut withal the mid court doors. It fits not that the guests, the while they feast, hear wailings and be vexed. [Exit Herakles. Chorus. What dost thou? Such affliction at the door, and guests for thee, Admetus? Art thou mad? Admetus. But had I driven him from my home and city, Who came my guest, then hadst thou praised me more? Nay, sooth, for mine affliction so had grown No less, and more inhospitable I. And to mine ills were added this beside, That this my home were called guest-hating hall. Yea, and myself have proved him kindliest host, Whene'er to Argos' thirsty plain I fared. Chorus. Why hide then the dread presence in the house, When came a friend? Thyself hast named him friend. Admetus. Never had he been one to pass my doors, Had he one whit of mine afflictions known. To some, I wot, not wise herein I seem, Nor wilt thou praise : but mine halls have not learned To thrust away, nor to dishonour guests. Chorus. Strophe I. Halls thronged of the guests ever welcome, O dwelling of a hero, forever the home of the free. The lord of the lyre strings sweet beyond telling, Apollo hath deigned to sojourn in thee. Amid thine habitations, a shepherd of sheep, The flocks of Admetus he scorned not to keep, While the shepherd's bridle strains, soft swelling from his pipe, Pealed over the slant sloped lea. Antistrophe I. And the spotted lynxes, for joy of thy singing, Mixed with thy flocks. And from Othrys' dell trooped tawny lions, The witchery winging notes brought dancing around thy shell. Phoebus, the dappled fawn from the shadow Of the tall tressed pines, tripping forth to the meadow, Beating time to the chime of the rapture ringing music, With light feet tranced by its spell. Strophe II. Wherefore the flocks of my lord unnumbered By the Boebian mere fair rippling stray. Where the steeds of the sun halt, darkness cumbered By Molossian marches far away The borders lie of his golden grain, And his rolling stretches of pasture plain, And the havenless beach Aegean hath slumbered Under Pelion long 'neath the peace of his sway. Antistrophe II. And now, with the tears from his eyes fast raining, Thrown wide are his palace doors to the guest, While newly his heart 'neath its burden is straining For the wife that hath died in his halls distressed. For to honour's heights are the highborn lifted, And the good are with truest wisdom gifted. And there broods on mine heart bright trust unwaning That the god reverer shall yet be blest. Admetus. O kindly presence of Pheraian men, This corpse even now, with all things meet, My servants bear on their shoulders to the tomb and pyre. Wherefore, as custom is, hail ye the dead, On the last journey as she goeth forth. Chorus. Lo, I behold thy sire with aged foot Advancing, and attendants in their hands Bear ornaments to deck the dead withal. Enter Pheres, with attendants bearing gifts. Pheres. I come in thine affliction sorrowing, son. A noble wife and virtuous hast thou lost. None will gainsay : yet these calamities We needs must bear, how hard to bear soever. Receive these ornaments, and let her pass Beneath the earth. Well may the corpse be honoured Of her who for thy life's sake died, my son. Who made me not unchilded, left me not Forlorn of thee, to pine in woeful eld. In all her sisters' eyes she hath crowned her life With glory, daring such a deed as this. O saviour of my son, who us upraisest In act to fall, all hail ! May bliss be thine Even in Hades. Thus to wed, I say, Profiteth men, or nothing worth is marriage. Admetus. Bidden of me thou com'st not to this burial, Nor count I thine the presence of a friend. Thine ornaments she never shall put on, She shall be buried needing nought of thine. Thou grieve : thou shouldst have grieved in my death hour. Thou stoodst aloof, the old didst leave the young to die, And wilt thou wail upon this corpse? True father of my body thou wast not, Nor she that said she bare me, and was called My mother, gave me birth. Of bondman blood To thy wife's breast Was I brought privily : put to the test, Thou showest who thou art, and I account me not thy true born son. Peerless of men in soulless cowardice. So old, and standing on the verge of life, Yet hadst no will, yet hadst no heart to die For thine own son. Ye suffered her a woman not of our house, whom I with righteous cause might count alone my mother and my father. Yet here was honour, hadst thou dared the strife, in dying for thy son. A paltry space to cling to life in any wise was left. Then had I lived, and she, through days to come, nor I left lorn, should thus mine ills bemoan. Yet all that may the fortunate betide fell to thy lot, in manhood's prime a king. Me hadst thou son and heir unto thine house, so that thou wast not dying like to leave a childless home for stranger folk to spoil. Nor canst thou say that flouting thy grey hairs I gave thee o'er to death, whose reverence for thee was passing word. And this the thank that thou and she that bare me render me. Wherefore make haste, beget thee other sons to foster thy grey hairs, to compass thee with death's observance, and lay out thy corpse. Not I with this mine hand will bury thee, for thee dead am I. If I see the light, another saviour found, I call me son to her, and loving fosterer of her age. For not the aged pray for death's release, plaining of age and weary wearing time. Let death draw near, who then would die? Not one. No more is eld a burden unto them. Chorus. O hush, suffice the affliction at the doors, O son, infuriate not thy father's soul. Pheres. Son, whom, think'st thou, some Lydian slave or Phrygian bought with thy money? Thus beratest thou? What, know'st thou not that I Thessalian am, sprung from Thessalian sire, free man true born? This insolence passeth, hurling malapert words on me? Not lightly thus shalt thou come off. Thee I begat and nurtured, of mine house the heir. No debt is mine to die for thee. Not from our sires such custom we received, that sires for sons should die. No Greek law this. Born for thyself wast thou, to fortune good or evil. All thy dues from us thou hast. O'er many folk thou rulest, wide domains shall I leave thee. To me my fathers left them. What is my wrong, my robbery of thee? For me die thou not, I die not for thee. Thou joy'st to see light, shall thy father joy not? Sooth, I account our time beneath the earth long, and our life space short, yet is it sweet. Shamelessly hast thou fought against thy death. Thy life is but transgression of thy doom and murder of thy wife. My cowardice? This from thee, dastard? Worsted by a woman who died for thee, the glorious, gallant youth? Cunning device hast thou devised to die never, cajoling still wife after wife to die for thee? And dost revile thy friends who will not so? And thou the coward, thou? Peace! E'en bethink thee, if thou lov'st thy life, so all love theirs. Thou, if thou speakest evil of us, shalt hear much evil, and that true. Chorus. Ye have said too much, thou now, and he before. Refrain, old sire, from railing on thy son. Admetus. Say on, say on. I have said. If hearing truth gall thee, thou shouldst not have done me wrong. Pheres. I had done more wrong, had I died for thee. Admetus. What? For the young and old is death the same? Pheres. One life to live, not twain. This is our due. Admetus. Have thy desire, one life outlasting Zeus. Pheres. Dost curse thy parents, who hast had no wrong? Admetus. I, whom I marked love sick for dateless life. Pheres. What? Art not burying her in thine own stead? Admetus. A token, dastard, of thy cowardice. Pheres. I did her not to death. Thou canst not say it. Admetus. Mayst thou feel thy need of me some day. Pheres. Woo many women, that the more may die. Admetus. This taunt strikes thee. 'Tis thou wast loth to die. Pheres. Sweet is yon sun god's light, yea, it is sweet. Admetus. Base is thy spirit, and unmeet for men. Pheres. No aged corpse thou bearest, inly laughing. Admetus. Yet shalt thou die in ill fame when thou diest. Pheres. Naught reck I of ill speaking o'er my grave. Admetus. Ah me, how full of shamelessness is eld! Pheres. Not shameless she, but senseless hast thou found her. Admetus. Begone Lead me to bury this my dead. Pheres. I go : her murderer will bury her. Thou shalt yet answer for it to her kin. Surely Acastus is no more a man, If he of thee claim not his sister's blood. [Exit Pheres. Admetus. Avaunt, with her that kennelleth with thee ! Childless grow old, as ye deserve, while lives your child. Ye shall not come beneath one roof with me. If need were, to renounce by heralds thy fatherhood, I had renounced it now. Let us, for we must bear the present ill, Pass on, to lay our dead upon the pyre. Chorus. Alas for the loving and daring ! Farewell to the noblest and best. May Hermes conduct thee down faring Kindly, and Hades to rest receive thee. If any atonement for ills even there may be tied To the good, O thine be enthronement by Hades' bride. [Exeunt omnes in funeral procession. End of Part II. Recording by Expatriate in Bangor, Maine.